Hello and welcome to Group Chat. I'm your host Bentley, and today I'm excited to welcome back Cory McCants, actor, educator, and host of Compact History and Compact Civics. Michael Gilbert-Wachowiak, actor, director, and podcast host. And Katie Colby, marketing director for a local law firm and a scare actor. You might remember her from our Halloween edition. She's not going to bring her costume in today. We're scared about enough stuff right now. We don't need to be scared. Today we're talking about money, taxes, spending, micro trends, and the generation that is sick of them. And drum roll, spring has sprung. We always ask what the role in your group chats are. This is a veteran group, so let's change it up a little bit. Tell me what you're talking about in your group chats.
Which group chat? Because you gotta make sure it's air appropriate.
Yeah, the air appropriate group chat.
For me, I talk often about my sibling group chat, and I think there's just always my older sister's always wanting to send an Instagram video or a YouTube reel about some show from the 90s that we can laugh at. I'm the baby of the group, so I'm much younger, so I was watching stuff that I didn't really get because they were watching it. So there's things, I don't know if you remember what's it called, The Roundhouse on Nickelodeon,
yeah.
or Hey Dude, those old shows that I'm I don't even, but she'll send stuff like that. So that's very wholesome, just for us to laugh. Remember when life was easy and we were all kids,
Remember a simpler time?
Exactly.
That's what we were watching, yeah.
This is the time of year when all the plans happen for summer, any trips or concerts. So that's what's really been going on for me. It's which I'm now reminding myself that I should save money for January and February, because suddenly I'm booking vacations and all this stuff. So that's sort of what's happening right now. Is I feel the summer months, which we know are few and far between here, are all getting booked for this weekend is this weekend is this. So that's sort of, it's all been planning right now.
Yeah. So you buy the tickets for the concerts months ago when they went on sale, and then you realize,
Correct.
I have to travel there.
You're like, we need an Airbnb in D.C. the 4th of July weekend. Okay, I guess we'll just figure it out.
Yep.
It'll be fine.
There with ya. How about you, Katie?
I think, so with my group chat, I definitely think it's a lot of gossip and tea, because whereas everyone's always got some drama going on. So. Yeah. And I love me some good gossip.
Honest, and I think we can all relate somehow, right? Well, we're going to be talking in some way about all of the things you all just talked about throughout the group chat today. But we're going to talk about money. We're going to start off. But do you know what fueled this conversation about money? Is this Cheeto that sold? Yeah. Oh, you know what, Cory? I appreciate that reaction. We're going to talk more about that. Sold for $87,840 because it was shaped like a Charizard, which is a Pokemon thing. Look at your face, Michael.
I just, every word out of that sentence was more chilling.
Yeah. I have a lot of feelings about this. So, if money were no object, what is the most ridiculous thing you would buy?
Most ridiculous. I think for me, if we're talking most ridiculous, it would definitely be like a real life Iron Man suit or something like that. You know what I mean? It'd be something either to do with that or anime. You know what I mean? I'd get I don't know, an Avatar type. It would be something like that 10-year-old me would be like, you did it. You succeeded in life. Because those are the ridiculous things.
Yeah.
But it would mean I would have to have Bezos type money to spend on something like that, and not feel guilty, I guess.
Well, and I think when I saw the story, the people that are buying these things have money that we can't even fathom.
Yeah.
There's people that we don't even know exist that have billions upon billions of dollars that buy these and anonymously, and that's nothing to them.
Yeah.
So I think that's who's buying them.
It's that's such a hard question. I want to have some nicer answer, but honestly, I recently discovered through an interview that Lady Gaga's meat dress was turned into jerky.
It was?
And I would I don't even want to eat it, but I want to have some of it.
Oh, you wouldn't. you wouldn't have wanted to save it from becoming jerky. You
No.
wanna own some of the jerky.
I just went
Okay.
like, well, because I just assumed it went bad. Like
Right,
I
right,
didn't
yeah.
know. I didn't know what happened to the
that's
dress,
true. It
right?
would-
Yeah.
it would have had to be
right?
preserved.
So
I mean-
I didn't even think. Like, it just like wasn't even a thought. And someone asked her about it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, they made it into jerky." And I'm like,
crazy.
Can I buy the jerky? Like,
Does it still exist?
I want to have it somewhere.
Yeah.
So
The
that's
Gaga
because
jerky?
I don't even know if it exists, but I kind of want. But I feel like with that sort of money, you can just ask those questions.
Yeah.
When you have that much money, you're like, find it for me.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And someone
You have people.
correct.
And then it
Yeah.
shows up at your house.
correct.
Yep. How about you, Katie?
Honestly, if I had I would spend it on a theater room. That's what I would want to do, is like have the whole setup where, because theater is my happy place. So first off, I'd need to buy a house. Don't have that first. So that's the prerequisite
These are
before
practical
that.
answers.
Yes. And then I would have a whole setup where, it's got the nice reclining seats, like popcorn maker, like the big screen projector. That's my thing that I would spend the money on.
So like a movie theater,
Like my
surround sound, like
love
you're
that.
in an actual movie theater.
Yes, my own personal movie theater.
That's
I
dope.
like it.
I love that.
I like it.
I wear my Iron Man suit to whatever movie you're showing.
And
Sounds good.
I will not eat the jerky. I'll bring it in the back.
Wave it around and show
Yeah.
off that you
Correct.
have it.
We'll play as Star Wars Born. I'll just wave the
Yeah.
jerky around.
I mean, I have to admit, I was a little angry when I saw this story, and then we
Yeah.
were talking about it in our pre-production meeting, and I'm like, I wouldn't buy anything. That is ridiculous. But now when I'm sitting here talking to you all, I'm like, I would have bought Kurt Cobain's sweater when that. Remember that was the thing, like something like a musician
Yes.
memorabilia
Yeah.
or
Yep.
something like that. But
Yeah.
I remember I joined when Stephen Sondheim, the composer, died, just to check. I joined the auction thing they were doing, because I was like, if there's a pen that's
Right,
$300,
right.
$400, I'll get it. That stuff was thousands of dollars. It's that stuff goes crazy
yeah.
at those
Yeah.
sales, and you think, oh well, I don't even have that much money, but I can get a piece
A
of paper.
small- right,
No,
right.
No, we cannot.
so you have joined the auctions. I actually tried to join one of the auctions, and it was like a music memorabilia thing, thinking the same thing. I can get something for a
Yeah.
couple $100s. No, even if something's listed for a couple hundred, the bids
it goes,
start at
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Oh.
10,000.
It goes
You know,
up.
and you're like, oh, this was fun.
Not for us.
How did they let me in here? I'm like, how did I have to show my bank account? Nope. Yeah. So, what's something weird that you own that you think might actually be valuable? Is there something that you're holding on to, thinking, I'm not going to thrift this. I'm not going to get rid of it because it might be valuable? I mean, I can't think of anything other than furniture I've bought that could be worth something someday, but
It's one of those things where you're like, does anyone else care? I've got some cool stuff,
Yeah.
especially some a lot of theater signed playbills and stuff.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have a couple posters of productions that were maybe supposed to go somewhere and didn't transfer. So that is maybe a cooler thing. I have a Steven Schwartz signed Wicked playbill from 20 years ago.
Oh.
The one thing that jumped out to me when you said this was, because this is technically not supposed to happen, when Oscar voting happens, they send out all these things to people. They can't really buy their votes, but they can be come to our screening, and also
Right,
here's
right.
just take one of these if you want.
Yeah.
There was a movie a couple years ago called Promising Young Woman, and
Yep.
they made a binded version of the script, and it's signed by everybody inside. Oh, and it was just on eBay. But you're not supposed
You
to.
have it?
Yeah, I just bought it. But you're not
shoot.
supposed to
Well, I
sell.
would buy
It's
that.
technically not illegal, but it's against the Academy rules to sell
Yeah.
those things.
Oh.
Because they're the gifts.
Yeah, but it was $150, and it's a nice bound book. It's
wow.
on my thing, so
Yeah.
But
Wow.
something like that, which I mean, I love it a lot, and someone may, but I'm I'll keep it because who knows? Someone in there could do something awful, and it could be really worth a lot of money or
shoot.
something.
Well, and I think that there just has to be somebody out there that's willing, a fan
Yeah.
or a market for this stuff.
Yeah.
I think that the Cheeto thing, they're trying to follow a trend now, because now there's a Michael Jordan flaming hot Cheeto.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But I think last checked, as of this show, it's at $1,100. No, sorry, it's at $5,650. They're hoping for $1,100, and for a while it was only at $300. So I'm like, did that first Cheeto chase all the high bidders
Can
away?
I ask a logistics question on this? Did someone create the Cheeto to look like this, or was it a Cheeto in the wild that looks like this?
Supposedly
A
it
Cheeto
was
in
a
the
Cheeto
wild.
in the wild, but I don't know
I don't
if I believe that.
Yeah.
And how do you authenticate something like
Correct.
that?
Is it so? It's just a Cheeto, or is it a bag of Cheetos?
No, a Cheeto.
It's just a single Cheeto
Yeah.
that sold for $90,000.
Yeah. A Cheeto.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Charizard is one of the greatest Pokemon.
That is true.
that
This
is
is very true.
But
To justify this.
$90,000
I know.
is
Big Pokemon fan.
my
Especially
gosh.
for something it's not going to be good really for that long.
That's the thing. If it was something that was going to like sustain, like it's going to get gross.
yeah.
Yeah.
They don't. This person doesn't have any pets. This person does not own any pets.
I know, because what if your dog eats
Oh,
it?
can you imagine? Oh, that
Yeah.
would be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Katie, what's your secret valuable thing that you're holding on to?
So this actually, I had this one thing that I thrifted, because I saw it at a thrift shop, and it was a little thing of these two men playing chess, and it's hand carved. And I got it, and because I was just like, oh, sentimental, because my grandfather used to hand carve a ton of stuff, and so I bought it, and I like held on to it, and then I looked at it and saw the artist on it. It actually is like, I bought it for like $5. Those usually go for like $500 and up.
Oh,
So,
wow.
that's a great find.
Wow.
And it should only go up too.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like those stories are harder and harder. You don't hear them as much anymore because now so many people are trying to find
Yes.
things like that. It's
Yeah.
become an
Yeah.
industry.
And I
so
feel like
that's
things
awesome.
aren't handmade like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
anymore too. So it
Yeah.
yeah.
Corey, so your Pokemon cards, is that what's worth?
I actually never really collected Pokemon cards. I think at this point in my life, I think all the things that I have that I like that hold value are just valuable to me. You know what I mean? Like they're just like personal paintings that someone made or things like that, or like my grandfather's jewelry. Like these are things that aren't, they
Yeah.
don't hold, but like I care about them.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think the things that I have are things that I'm like, well, in 20 years, this is going to be super valuable because it's going to be the famous actor Corey's whatever.
Well, they are.
You know what I mean? So like,
Hey.
Can I buy
in
stuff
time,
from you now?
in time, the stuff will be famous, but
Yeah.
for different reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll be worth a lot. So that's really what I'm waiting on.
I love that.
Invest in yourself.
There you go. Exactly. There you go.
So I'm going to buy, now I'm going to start buying stuff from all of you. And we're in tax season right now. If you're possibly getting a refund, I don't know. Do people get refunds anymore? Have you done your taxes? And do you have a plan for your refund? Is it something fun, or, did your car just break down? That's always what happens to me is I'm like, oh, I'm going to buy this for myself this year. And then, and I'm not talking huge amounts of money here. Okay. Just as a preface to that, what does tax season look like for you?
So no, I have not done my taxes yet. I am always horrible about trying to make sure that's done on time.
Same.
I scrape through every year, but I do it. Yeah. I think with tax season, I think a big thing too is just trying to get. One thing I wanted to say, like with people with. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I'm totally following you.
So with tax season, I think a big thing that some people should know with it is because years ago when I was broke, a hack I found was I didn't know that this might be common knowledge, but New York government site has it where you can e-file for free online, and I didn't know that for the longest time. I always thought it was like, oh, you have to go through the other sites where they make you pay for stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm like, that was like one thing I found that was actually like a good helping thing for like tax season. So I just was like, let's share that info because I didn't know it at first, and might be
No,
common
that's
knowledge,
valuable to
but
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're just starting out
Yeah.
and you don't have a huge paycheck and you're
Yeah.
trying to figure out. I never wanted to do my own taxes. I knew that wasn't my forte.
But also, you're like, why do I want to give you $80
Yeah.
to maybe owe someone else
Right,
more
right.
Yeah.
money? Like it does.
Yes.
So, Michael, have you done your taxes?
No, and I
None of us have done our taxes.
And
we're
that's-
adults.
I know. Well, but okay, we have a whole other month. There is a whole tax day, but
Right.
I normally am actually very good at about this. Before I was married, I would file mine and my husband's together, and I would do his for him. We'll pay for the site, but I can do it all myself. And we have a lot of 1099s and some stuff from some of the acting and directing stuff. So I never get any money back because of that. Because the moment you start to do all that, if you
Yep.
don't,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
don't, if you don't create an LLC for yourself or stuff, it can get really hard. So I, due to some stuff that I know we did this year, like, I'm going to owe money. Like, I know I'm going to owe money. So I waited until I actually got my bonus from work, which unfortunately is going to, I think, be used to pay my taxes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which is really just like a terrible cycle. But
Yeah,
at
but-
least then I won't like be in the hole. Because I was
Yeah.
like, if I do my taxes and I can't pay them and I have to do some sort of payment plan, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness.
But that's an interesting point because we've talked about side hustles before, and
Yeah.
a lot of people now have to have a side hustle or have them. But at the end of the year, sometimes that can come back.
Or
to
Or like
bite you.
I filled out
Yeah.
a tax document wrong for a place I worked and it's not their fault, it's my fault. And I got my thing from them and I was like, oh, so we didn't take any federal taxes.
Ooh.
Great.
Ouch.
Oh, Mike. Oh,
I know, it's rough. That's why I haven't done them. It's bad. I know it's bad.
just dreading it, man. Ooh.
Cory, you're involved in quite a few things.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't done my taxes yet. My mentality is like, just don't owe. As long as I don't owe,
Yes. Yeah, same.
I don't need
Yeah.
money back. When I was in college, fresh out of college, I was like, man, like I'll get this money and do this. At this point, I'm like, if I don't owe, that's a win.
Yeah.
So that's really what I'm looking towards. I just procrastinate, and that's my thing. But like, come next month, I'll be Googling like, when is the last day to file taxes? And like, when I find it, all right, I'll do it and just cross my fingers. But I go to like Jackson Hewitt, and they usually look out for me. They're
Yeah.
like, I've been doing it since, I don't know, for like 10 years now. So they look out. Hopefully somebody at Jackson Hewitt, hears this and is like, I got you, bro. Looks out for me. Right.
Well, and there's something about giving somebody else that responsibility because supposedly other people know what they're doing. And
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
my limitations and I know
Right.
that this is not what my thing. So
Yeah.
I'll let somebody else be
Hopefully
responsible.
there's something in there you can help me out with.
It's also a game of like I always tell myself at the beginning of the year, I'm like, because like especially like you said with side hustles and stuff, if I actually wanted to, I probably could write off a lot of things that I
Yeah.
do. But that means you have to track it all and hope that after all that work that it still is above whatever the standard deduction
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Because if it's not, it's pointless to
Yep.
do. So it's like that is important work, and many people I know do it, but it's like I don't have the emotional bandwidth to do that throughout the year when you're just trying to
Absolutely not.
live and work and all that.
Yeah.
stuff.
A
Absolutely
lot of
not.
things to pay attention
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I did that one year where I kept track of everything and then it wasn't enough. And I'm like, that was a lot of work.
Correct,
And then I couldn't,
yeah.
So then I never did it again.
Yeah.
In case you're just joining us, you're listening to Group Chat. I'm your host, Bentley, and I'm here with Cory McCants, Michael Gilbert-Wachowiak, and Katie Colby. And, we're talking about crazy purchases, tax season, and something about crazy purchases, though, if you've logged into an auction site or anything online, credit cards. When did you get your first credit card?
Whew.
Maybe you don't want to remember that. Maybe credit cards have always. I've only at this point. I think I've figured out what credit cards are supposed to do for your credit, but I did it all the wrong ways.
I got one in college. I got
Yeah.
a Discover card because at the time they were, I feel like, one of the people that would like give it.
Yeah.
And not
Yeah.
necessarily in like a predatory way, although they are in some ways kind of all that. They would give it to you with like a low limit. To be like, you're
Yeah.
in college, you don't really have any credit, but like here's $1,000 for if your car breaks down
Yep,
or
yep.
whatnot. But,
At a 25% interest rate.
correct.
That you didn't read when you were
I
in
recently got rid of all of them.
Yeah. Good.
Which
Good
was
for you.
was a painful process. It also like sort of had to happen. It was I'm not great with spending, meaning that like I will just spend.
Same.
Yeah. So that was a challenge, but I feel like it has brought me some financial peace because it's like there's no money, there's no money.
Right.
Like if you can't pay for it, you can't pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have one for emergencies because like I think if you have the ability to God forbid something happens,
But it's needed, yeah.
But it is it was freeing when I finally sort of did that.
Well, and even if you can't remember when you got your first credit card, when did you get your first credit card offers?
Oh God.
I think, I got my first credit card when I was 34. So
Good for you.
yeah,
That's really good.
I was terrified. But college is when
Yeah.
they start coming for you. So I think I got my first ones, when I was like 19 maybe.
Yep.
Because your loans show up as you having some sort of credit history,
Yeah.
and that's how it starts. So.
Yep. So
Yep.
they're trying to get you early, but I was terrified of them. And the people I talked to was like, "Don't get one. Hold off as long as you can." And so for my entire life, I was terrified of them and was like, "All right, I'm in my 30s. Yeah, I mean, I should probably have a credit card." And so now I'm going through that process. I've like tried to learn, but also some of it is like trial and error. So, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes there's probably a 22-year-old out there that knows so much more than I do just from experiencing it.
Oh, yeah.
But with life experience and like having a job and having all these expenses for so long, I feel like, okay, I'm at the point where I can do that now, you know?
Good for you. You had that wherewithal. How about you, Katie?
I think I got my first credit card when I was 19. I mainly just went to go and get it so I could start building credit. But I've always been nervous with credit cards because I've had family members who did not know, like, not to keep on getting and spending on them. So I've always tried to keep within, like, a certain credit limit that way and, like, keep it within a certain place with it. But, I've had it for a while and never had to have any issues with it. So thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the best financial advice that you ever got?
Still waiting on something. There's got to be something.
I mean, I remember because I was scared of credit cards because I got into a little bit of credit card trouble in college because they were just like offering them. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I can go on spring break now, you know?
Yeah.
And then so I didn't have them. But then I had no real credit for a long time. And I remember not that long ago, it was probably 5 or 6 years ago, sitting at a bar in New Orleans with a friend who said, we are signing you up for a credit card right now. We're doing it on your phone because you need to establish another line of credit. And that actually did change a lot for me. But I was so scared of credit cards because I had these balances when I was 19 and 20, and then I just swore off them. But then I was in this weird zone of having like student loans, which hurt you, but they don't help you.
Yeah.
But then I didn't really have any substantial credit. So
It also goes to, like, not to say incendiary things, but like the whole credit score thing is such a scam because I only recently found out, like, it sounds like something that's existed forever. We haven't had it for that long.
Yeah.
They haven't really been using it in a serious way for as long as you would think. And they penalize you for, like, when years ago I was able to, through some stuff, like, pay off the loans I had, like, in full. And I did one payment. I said, here you go.
Jeez.
Don't talk to me ever again.
yeah.
That hurt my score.
That's
because
crazy.
when you do a large payment like that, it like is a knock on you. And I'm like, I'm
That's
giving
crazy.
you all the money.
There's no debt.
And I think from their side, it's like when you have like an auto loan, they like that you see a repeated
Consistency.
And so I understand it, but that's insane.
That's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me when I finally did pay off the earlier credit cards. It was like a lump sum, and it actually hurt me. I don't even remember. I blacked out.
It doesn't make sense. If it's gone, it's gone. Just be happy it's gone. you know?
Yes. Well, thank you for sharing all of our personal financial struggles here. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk about patience level with trends and the state of digital culture. Don't go away. That's next on Group Chat. Thanks for joining us again on Group Chat. I'm your host, Bentley, and I'm joined today by Cory McCants, actor, educator, and host of Compact History and Compact Civics, Michael Gilbert-Wachowiak, actor, director, and podcast host, and Katie Colby, marketing director for a local law firm and a scare actor. Thank you for joining us today. We are getting into it today, and we're getting a little personal today. So there's been a lot of talk, and when I say talk, I mean, online, not really talking, reading stuff, and then group chatting. So I guess that's not really talk. Micro trends. Are they dead? Long live the vibe of micro trends. Trends move so fast. Do you find them exhausting? Do you find that you have to keep up with them? There's definitely been talk about Gen Z getting exhausted from chasing these trends, but they chase them. So how are you with this? And we're talking like, I think what things that come up are like fashion and makeup trends and, furniture. I don't know. Airport. We'll talk about the airport trend that gives me anxiety, but how do you feel about that?
I always like to see, like, let me see how this works for a little bit.
Yeah,
Like, I don't need
yeah.
to jump on it. So, for instance, like a fashion thing, which isn't really it's again, like with everything with fashion, we're just sort of going back. Like even like today I'm wearing like a little wider legged cargo pant, and like that was like not something I Like I got nice little legs. I go, let me like wear some tighter pants. That's how I always was, and that's like the millennial thing that they make fun of us, that we like skinny jeans and whatnot. And so I didn't like it because I was like, that looks like you look, I don't know. But then I wore them. I was like, wait, I like these. I'm comfy. And so it's one of those things where I finally like just gave in, and I was like, just because I thought that they were like ugly or didn't look good on me, maybe isn't true. And then I wear them, and I was like, wait, I look cool.
I like it.
I look like everybody else now. So I sort of like to ride the wave and see, is that something that I will like to do, and is it going to go away?
Yeah.
Because if it goes away, then I don't have to even approach it.
Don't even worry about it. Right.
Correct.
Yeah, so you actually used it to your advantage, and it made you feel comfortable in experimenting with something. But you didn't feel pressure that you had to do it. You just felt okay to be able to do it.
Yeah, because you keep going to the store and you're like, wow, like all of these, like you notice it when you go shopping. You're like, the availability of what I want. Like the more I saw it, the more I was like, okay, well, it's not going away. Like, like this style of shirt, this style of pant is everywhere now. So I mean, when you go and try it on, you're like, no, wait a minute. I like this. So that's
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad.
No.
I can see that. I think I've done that. How about you, Katie?
I think it like with keeping up with trends can be exhausting. Like I myself try not to jump on too many bandwagons with stuff, just because it's like you'll get caught away in the tide. There's so many constantly. But I do like seeing all the different, especially with fashion and makeup, like seeing how people are creative with it. That is something, because I'm myself am like very into doing like fun makeup looks, bright colors, things like that. I'm a bit of a maximalist, so seeing how people change up style is a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, I like that. And I think, I know there's people that say they feel like they have to look a certain way from the trends, but then there's people that say, oh, I like that there's these things happening, so then I feel comfortable to try them. So it sounds like there's two sides, but you can also dive deep into the purchasing too and the ads, because as we were talking about before with credit cards, it's very easy to click on those pants.
Or even your
purchase
phone,
them.
the way like being able to pay. Like if something has Apple Pay on the site, I am more willing to do it because I don't have to get up off the couch and get my card.
Yeah.
For real.
Cory, how do you feel about the trends? Because you live in a digital space with your career.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the trends, the dance trends?
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me, when I think of the trends, it's less about fashion, because most of fashion is trends. Like there's some timeless fashion, but most things come and go and they have their place. And like Mike said, they recycle. So if you missed it this time, don't worry. In 20 years, it'll be back for you. So not so much that, but I do think of like social media trends or trends when like to go viral. And I think that's what's so exhausting, is that so many people are like, oh, that's popular. Wait, that's popular. Wait, that. And you're trying to find what hits, when I think what helps, at least for me, and maybe just because I'm old, but what helps is like, just be who you are and wait for the trend to come to you. So like there are people, like you have what you have. Either it's the way you're funny or the way you talk or the way you tell stories. Like when YouTube first started, it was all about like being like a celebrity or something like that. But now you have these people who are like all over the place and they're big and they're animated. And it's like, those are real people that are really like that. And right now is their time. Yep. And so if you just stay what you are, at some point, the pendulum will swing towards you and you hit and just go, and you'll find your people and it'll go. But when you go chasing it, it's just so difficult because there's so many. And for us, especially like with dances, I mean, for most of our college career, it was the Dougie. If you saw me anywhere on campus, I was in the Dougie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was it. Mike knows. So it was the Dougie, it was the Cat Daddy, and that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? That got me through like those 4 years. But in today's time, like when I'm with my students, every week there's a new dance. You were doing this that week and it's old now. And it's like, if I tried to learn every single dance, I'm exhausted. And I'm like, I can't do this. So trends are just happening so much more frequently because of social media, because we're always there, that it's like, you can't hit them all. And since you can't hit them all, don't worry and just hit the ones that fit you and just go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I love that. That's inspirational.
Yeah, it's great.
We might also have to let the audience know that we realized today that Cory and Michael went to college together when they walked in the room.
Yeah.
So that's actual real information that Michael may have seen Cory
walking down the hall.
Certainly did.
Dancing.
Certainly did.
Well, and the TikTok dance trend has been it's been a moneymaker, but also that it's turned a little dark. You know, that Dancing for the Devil documentary. Did you see that? With
No.
Yeah, I saw that thing, man.
I mean, the title is very dramatic, but it like turned into a cult, and then there was a
it always does.
always.
It always does turn into a cult somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe it's my, algorithm or something, but I like apparently everything's a cult now, but there's a lot of cults I did not know about. But, when do these trends start to become, I guess maybe they start very innocent, and then there seems to always be some kind of money thing attached to it. So, I mean, how do you protect yourself from that? Do you just don't follow it? You don't buy the stuff? You don't chase it?
I think you always need to look at where it's coming from.
Yeah.
For example, I've been getting a lot of ads on and by ads, which is almost worse. I'd rather get an ad. I get the eligible for commission video, which is someone hawking something that is have you seen these Lemmy curbs? They're basically supposed to do the quote unquote what Ozempic does, which
so
it's not
Lemmy,
going to.
It's the Kourtney Kardashian's vitamins.
And I go, there's no way that works. And you're only telling me it works because if I click on your link, you will get paid.
Yeah, right.
And so that makes me mad. I'd rather it be an ad that was tested, approved, marketed, whatever.
Right.
And I know, but I'm not saying this person doesn't want to get money, but do that for a little tchotchke toy or something that I'm going to buy. I don't like it when it gets into the health space.
Yeah.
Where it's you're just lying to people to try to make money. And like you said, there's no way to test that. And then it sort of can become a, maybe not a cult, but it can become a larger thing that, and especially young people. I know we've said it before, but young people might not know and they're going to be okay, I'm going to try that. And then it's not going to go well for them.
So Lemmy's your frustrating trend.
That's just one I keep seeing.
No, I know,
it's just on my page all the time. Because and then if I click it, not because I want it, but I'm I want to see what this is about.
Right.
You click it, and now you get more of it. Because they saw when you click the button, but really I'm just trying to take them down. But
I'm clicking to report.
Yeah, right.
But the algorithm is you like this.
Correct.
So they show you more. Yeah.
That keeps happening for me too. Cory, what about you? Is there anything that pops up that frustrates you, or you say, I'm not going to chase that trend, or I'm being serviced something that I don't love?
I feel like not many people understand the reference, but I feel like I'm 11/7 susceptible. So if you ever watch the show Community, that's a reference from that. But I'm very susceptible to buy things because I don't know, I just like things. And so I'm oh, that's cool, I should buy that. Oh, that's cool. And so for me, when I get when the ads come and it's oh, you should buy this, I'm I try and find a reason that I need it to buy. And it goes and it's waves. There's times where I'm really heavily on that, and then there's times where I don't care about any of it. But I think none of it is frustrating because I've learned the algorithm thing. So now I'm at the point where right now it just feeds me the things that I like, and it's usually just self-help stuff, stuff about God. It's simple things, and that's usually what I'm getting. But it took a lot of time. It took a lot of time to get to that point, and then every once in a while we'll come back around to those. You should buy this thing, and I just gotta fight it off. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Can you explain what 11/7 susceptible is, or is that a completely different?
There's an episode of the show Community, which is one of the greatest shows. So if you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. The Russo brothers, where one of the characters, the dean of the school, it's a community college. He has Subway come into the school, and Subway. It's a long story. Pretty much, there's this guy who's selling stuff to people through guerrilla marketing. So he's there as a student, but he's really going up to people hey, what's up, man? Oh, what class you take? What would be really great for that? If you bought this new Ford, that's and so he's selling stuff like that, and the dean just keeps buying things. And throughout the episode, they realize he's 11/7 susceptible, a level 7 susceptible, meaning he'll buy anything. This is a gold mine for someone selling stuff.
Yeah.
So they go really hard at trying to get him to buy stuff. He has the jacket and the hat, kind of like Joey and Friends with the Porsche, where he has the jacket, the keys, everything. It's like that. And so if you find my thing, I will almost buy anything from you. And so it's dangerous. My girlfriend she's my bodyguard when it comes to that. But that's.
Katie, any frustrating trends?
Okay, so I will jump on the selling thing a little bit, because I do hate it when they set it up like it's a skit, and it's like at the end, and like they're like, oh, I was using this watch as like a thing,
Yes.
and incorporating it. I hate when they do that because I feel like it is just such like a lie to be like, oh, it's gonna be a fun little video, and then it's like, actually, we're trying to get you to like
Yes.
give us your money.
Yeah.
And so with that, I think it's just like it's so important to have like media literacy now, just because
No one has it anymore.
I know it's a struggle because they are getting sneakier with different things and trying to like make you think that, oh, this is just like a fun little thing instead of like trying to push certain ideas or trying to sell something to you. Another thing, trends that this was one that I hated for a while was they were doing point of view videos and like certain ones where it's like there was like this one trend going around where it was like point of view like the boyfriend or like where you get kidnapped or things like that. It's like such
No.
Yeah, so it was like creepy weird ones like that where it's like this guy's like, hey, it's okay, I'm gonna take care of you, and it's like you're kidnapped, and it's like, why are we pushing this?
That's like point of view next level.
Yeah.
Well, they also
Wow,
don't ever
that's
use point of view
level.
correctly.
No,
Yeah.
It always
I-
says POV,
okay,
but
thank
it's
you.
not it's not right. You're not right.
Listen, you can't when it comes to those kind of like acting things, you can't be in the acting realm. You can't be like us and know these actual terms and like get through it because they use them all so wrong.
Yes.
And it's just so frustrating. Like that is a pet peeve of mine. That one is really bad. Yeah.
And then, as we were talking before, Dancing for the Devil,
Yeah.
they all got found out.
You get got, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, one thing I wanted to say, Katie, from what you reminded me, and people should know this about literacy, media literacy, because the new thing that's happening is, I mean, AI is getting there, man. It's getting really good. And if you know movies and you know TV and stuff like that or media, you can still spot it. Sometimes it gets like, at first it was right away. Now it might be 5 or 10 seconds in, like, wait a minute, this isn't real. But like they will, the difference is it's tricking now. It's not misleading and it's not like, oh, I didn't know you didn't know. It's actual tricking. And they'll show a clip of the Joe Rogan podcast, right? They'll just show it as they're talking and they'll have the AI Joe Rogan speaking over the clip and then they'll do B-roll to whatever their product is. So you think, oh, Joe Rogan is talking about this product. And not that he's like the end all be all, but there are a lot of guys, a lot of people who trust him and he doesn't really put out stuff that he doesn't use. So you think Joe Rogan is talking about this product, maybe I should look into it, and it's not. He never said anything about it. He didn't care about it. And like, so that's a whole nother level of, you know what I mean, whatever it is. Insert your favorite celebrity or person you trust or Dr. Oz or whatever, but they're using AI to sell their products and it's just flat out lies.
Yeah. That's very scary.
Yeah.
In case you just joined us, you're listening to Group Chat. I'm your host, Bentley, here with Cory McCants, Michael Gilbert-Wachowiak, and Katie Colby. Now, Cory and Michael found out that they went to college together when they walked in the room. Where did you go to college?
Niagara University.
Okay, so this has been fun. So back in your college years, no.
Oh God.
So as we talk about trends, it seems trends are always cyclical. So basically, you just wait for whatever era to come back. We've been talking a lot about 2000s trends. Your bell bottoms.
Yeah, well, they're just like a little. It's just like, you know, they're like the legs got more room to breathe.
A little more breathable space.
Yeah, and I don't know that bootcut jeans. Obviously, Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl bootcut, but now everybody's
I love
debating
those.
what actually is bootcut.
Yeah.
Like, how flared is a bootcut? It's not flared.
Those were really. Those were almost bell bottoms.
Yeah,
Like, those
yeah.
were flared.
But were
Yeah.
bootcut, when bootcut came out, that flared?
But I feel like bootcut now. I feel like the straight leg jeans right now are almost boot. Like,
Yeah.
bootcut feels. It just doesn't. I don't know. Like
It's changed.
the terms are all
Yeah.
changing, but those ones were basically flares.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
I
needed
think
to
so.
get somebody else's opinion on that because
Well,
I keep saying bootcut, and I'm like,
I also want to know, respectfully, if he was wearing, like, if his shoes had a little lift, and that's why I think they went to the ground. Because he is a rather short man, and he
Yeah.
did not look
Yes.
that short. Now, that's also in the casting of the dancers.
Yeah.
But I do want to know if there was a little bit of a platform on the back of his
I
sneaker.
think he
I
had
wouldn't
so.
be
I think he had
surprised.
something going
Okay.
on. I think so. I bought a pair of boot cuts. So at my school, for the Black History program, it was like 50 air quotes 50 years of hip hop because it's like 52 years
like
by now.
Yeah.
Air quote 50.
You know, but so at the end of the performance, there was a surprise performance. I and some of the 7th grade girls did the Kendrick Lamar's half.
Shut up.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
So they did
Awesome.
it. It's on. You gotta check the Instagram. It's on Instagram.
Okay.
So I had to buy. I was like, I'm looking for these jeans, but I was like, I'm not buying bell bottoms. So I went and I found some boot cut jeans because I was like, this might be the closest thing. So to what you're talking about, like, yeah, I wore boot cut. His were more flared than mine were, but that was the closest thing outside of bell bottoms you could get. And I don't remember them being as dramatic as the ones I had. So like when I was younger and wore them, I don't remember them being that dramatic. So I do think they've flared more now, but what he had was definitely more than that.
So will you still wear those, or did you just get them for the performance?
No, it was a one time. I mean, every morning I'm getting ready, I put these on and I was like, no, not today. I don't know if there will be a time. Maybe I'll try them on.
Yeah, maybe
for
you
something.
should wear them the next time you're on group.
Yeah?
Because maybe we need to be the judge. Because I
Okay.
think you just need to experiment, like Michael.
Listen, I did buy a pair of actual bell-bottom jeans. It's when I was going to Greece, and I said, I'm going to look like I'm in Mamma Mia. And I got them at Forever 21. I'm pretty sure they are women's jeans, but you know what? They were comfy, and I looked like I was about to sing some ABBA songs.
That's all you need,
the
man.
beach.
Katie, what's a trend that has come back that you love, or even if you dislike? You could even.
So this trend in particular that I kind of have liked is it's become more popular to collect physical media, which I think is really cool. Like collecting like DVDs, VHS tapes, cassettes and stuff, and CDs. Like I think it's so cool to be able to do that because of the fact that, especially with all the issues with streaming, like one movie in particular, I know that's like kind of popularly like where people have struggled to find it on streaming is like, I know it's Christmas time, but it's The Grinch. And so just having those things over time, I think, is something that's nice to have so you can actually own it physically. And then also, it's just, there's something so classic feeling about putting a VHS tape in and watching it because is the quality of the picture going to be the best? No, but it has such a different vibe and a homey feeling to it. So
Have you had luck finding the things to play the things in, though?
So
That is the harder part.
that is the harder thing. I have luckily with some of the ones that I have had gotten them hand me down from family members.
Oh, nice.
So, but I'm willing to bet it wouldn't be too crazy to find it on like eBay to get some of those things. Out in the wild, I have no idea. But
Yeah, because then you don't know if they really work, and then finding parts for the things.
Yes.
And
Some of
you
those things
know,
discontinued.
I also have a bunch of physical media stuff because you don't own it unless you literally own it. And I think
Right.
there's a mix of some of that older vintage stuff, and then there are places like I have a bunch of the Criterion Blu-rays. So it's like, but that's great because they know that it's like, okay, if you're gonna buy it, it comes with essays and special features and all
Right,
this stuff.
right, right.
That's cool to have, and they also just like look nice on the shelf.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I got rid of a bunch of CDs not that long ago. And I started collecting vinyl, which is way heavier and way, but I'm mad now about some of the CDs because there's so many remastered versions of those that you can only get the remastered versions on digital. So now here I am back trying to find all the CDs that I got rid of. Oh, our first world problems here.
Yeah.
When we come back from the break, we're going to talk about different trends touching some grass. We'll talk more about that because spring is here. Is it really here, though? We'll talk all these things next on Group Chat. Thanks for joining us again on Group Chat. I'm your host, Bentley, and I'm joined by Cory McCants, actor, educator, and host of Compact History and Compact Civics, Michael Gilbert-Wachowiak, actor, director, and podcast host, and Katie Colby, marketing director for a local law firm and a scare actor. So we were sort of talking off mic when we got in and we're setting up today about weather and how that affects your mood. So officially spring is here. Do we trust it? Do you feel differently when the warm weather hits?
This is Buffalo. I never trust the weather here.
I know. We can start celebrating spring. Actually, I don't ever feel like there is a spring. It goes from winter to summer.
Pretty
and
much.
that happens in May.
Yeah.
Yes.
So But listen, there's spring cleaning. Maybe you get the glimpse of the 70-degree day. What do you do when the warm weather hits?
I act a fool.
I was hoping you'd say that because I was thinking in my head, but
yeah, the summer is like where I feel the most me.
yeah.
I can't. I hate the snow. For somebody that lives in Buffalo, it's crazy, but
Yeah.
I really do. Like, there's certain moments that I enjoy in it, but summer is where I thrive, and so that's where I'm outside. I'm doing it. I'm just happier. I mean, I'm happy all the time, but
Yeah.
I feel happier in the summertime. I don't like. Does anybody know why do we have snow? What is I just don't get what it's
Asking
for.
the real question.
I just don't get what it's for. And so because of that, I'm just like, there's places that don't even have it ever.
Yeah.
And so
Well, when you travel and then you step outside in the morning, you're like, oh, it's a warm day.
Right.
Why don't I experience this every
just
day?
be all the time.
It's
yeah.
true. Although, like, I mean, yes, there are some like things we don't have to deal with. So
Yeah,
I will.
that's true.
Well,
I will.
yeah. Good point, Mike. Good point.
But I agree. I do like, where is snow from? Like, no one's asking these questions.
Yeah.
We need this. We need this.
Well, and we talked about the St. Patrick's Day parades last week, but we were talking about it earlier and what we all did, but the weather at the first parades of the season will dictate how they go and how crazy people get. So if you get your first sunny day of the year and it happens to fall on parade day, watch out.
They also I feel like even though there is so much to do here all the time,
Yeah.
what's nice about summer, number one, and this is a longer conversation, but like, we just need to like keep the clocks where they are right now. It's lovely. I understand that children have to go to school in the morning. Unfortunately, that's not my problem, but I need the sun to be out. And it's nice because like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, people will want to do things, as opposed to in the winter, it's so dark, you kind of just want to stay home, make dinner, and not
Completely
do anything.
agree.
Yeah.
I feel like, so then it's like, okay, all the plans have to happen on like a Friday and like a Saturday. Whereas now it's like, well, we can make Tuesday plans or we
Right,
can make
right.
Wednesday plans
Yes.
because I don't feel immediately like I want to go to bed as soon as I'm done working. And I work from home, so like some days I don't, in the winter, I feel like I don't leave the house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think spring cleaning is a thing then?
I think the sun comes in, that seasonal depression goes away, so
Yeah.
you're like, I can actually clean now. I have the energy to.
Right.
Yeah, or you start seeing all the dust.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Oh, you see the dust. We actually we did this yesterday. We were like, let's dust, and we like opened up the blinds. I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
that's
That's what the
hasn't
sun
been touched in
exposes.
months.
Yeah.
Well, and then the purging of things too. I always feel like, and maybe that's because you're cleaning and you realize you kind of come across things. And you're like, oh, do I need this?
I'm so bad at that.
You don't get rid of things?
Well, I'm getting better. Like, so we were like, after we cleaned it, I threw out a bunch of stuff, and then someone sent a thank you note for something I went to, and I was like, oh my god, this is beautiful. And then I put it in the recycle, and my husband like laughed. He was like, it's just funny that you showed me how pretty it was, and then immediately got rid of it. And I was like, but if I don't, it's going to live here.
Yeah.
So it
yeah.
has to go away right now.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, I think I feel better if I tried to use that rule of if I haven't worn something in 2 years, and then if I donate to somewhere that I know where somebody's going to use it, I feel better about it. But as we were sitting here talking about trends that come back, you kind of, it's hard to get rid of stuff because you think, oh, I might wear that next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I think the two
I've thrown out the fat pants too many times. and just had to get new pants. So we're leaving. I keep all my pants because I know at this point in my life, I fluctuate so much that I need to keep all of my clothes because you never know what size we're going to be that month.
Yeah, you kind of have like the wishful thinking. But then at the same time, you have the wishful thinking pants that you've had for like 10 years. And you're like, I
got those ones too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still thinking about them.
As we were getting ready for the episode, one of our producers, Lynn, was talking about how she donates to like the St. Luke's. There's a church down here that does like a community store. So if you donate stuff there, it's set up in a way where people can come in and shop, you know, and you know that your stuff's getting used, or it's almost like a recycling situation.
Yeah.
Somebody is going to value that. So I know for me, when I donate like that, it makes me feel better letting go of stuff. But sometimes I do have that, oh, those pants, those bell bottoms I donated, you know, however long ago, they would be worth some, they're vintage now.
We have like a basically called like a costume bin, and I throw things like that in there. Like that's where the bell bottoms are, because like technically I would wear them, but then I know, okay, where's all that weird stuff that like
Right.
it's like one-off things to wear. Oh, it's in that bin. I open it up and I'm like, there's some wild stuff in here.
Yeah.
That's smart though.
I mean, Katie, that's kind of your side profession. Do you hold on to costumes?
So I do have like some I have a space in my closet set up to hold my specific costumes for things. I have currently my doll dress and my clown costume in there. I also do fun fact, I do every year for charity help out with Lock City Circus, and I volunteer as a clown. So I have an actual clown outfit too.
Wow.
I have, like, since I do a lot of random weird stuff like that, I do definitely have a whole section of my closet that is either mainly thrifted, specific outfits for those random things.
Yeah. I have started a theme party section because you get invited to an 80s party or a prom party or something like that.
There's a disco every year.
I know that's
Right.
Hey, and it's hard to find disco stuff that time of year.
And to not find the same disco stuff, because I have attended that I'm like, oh, we're all wearing this shirt, huh?
Yeah.
This was the one that Amazon said, huh?
Yeah. Cory, do you spring clean? What's your soundtrack?
Yeah. The spring cleaning is definitely something I do. My girlfriend does too, so we are compatible in that way. Like when one of us starts, well, sometimes when one of us starts to do it, the other one jumps in, so that makes it easier. But also my mom was a cleaner. Like my mom was a Saturday morning, wake up early with the music. And so I've kind of adopted that. So at this point now, I'll put on, oddly enough, I'll put on like some Kendrick or something like that. I wish Donnie was here to hear me say it.
I mean? He's got to listen to this.
Yeah, so I'll put like some Kendrick on or something like that. Or just like some 90s, you know what I mean? Some 2000s, like some Usher, some old stuff. And I like just get in that mode. Every night, every night I put on YouTube videos and do dishes. That's just like my thing. So like cleaning is, I don't know, it's like calming for me, I guess. But the spring cleaning is like that deep clean where we're going in the basement, getting stuff. And my girlfriend likes everything in the house is seasonal. So like at wintertime, the whole house is decorated. When the spring comes, everything changes. So we're going to be expecting to do that pretty soon. So
what music did your mom listen to when she was cleaning? Do you remember any artists?
I think it went definitely like Temptations and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like the Solid Gold Soul channel. Like that was definitely a thing for a while. At some point it was like church music. It was always those kind of things though. That's probably why in my car, there's times where I'm driving and like I feel like, man, this must be this is what my dad must have felt like, because I'm listening to the same stuff. I'm listening to Isley Brothers. Like, what is happening here? Like, why am I driving listening to this? But that's like the music that makes me feel the most at home, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, when you said that, it definitely triggered a memory of Michael Jackson in my house on Saturday mornings during cleaning. In case you're just joining us, you are listening to Group Chat. I'm your host, Bentley, here with Cory McCants, Michael Gilbert-Wachowiak, and Katie Colby. You're talking about soundtracks for cleaning, but you mentioned driving, and I feel like spring soundtracks, you start to be able to roll your windows down in your car, even if you have AC. I feel like spring, it's windows down.
People need to hear this. Y'all need to hear this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for AC yet. I want the air and the sunshine. What is on some of your spring playlists? Like what type of music? I know Kendrick's on your spring. I'm going to repeat that. Kendrick's on your spring cleaning
J. Cole
playlist.
is too. Don't get me wrong. Because J. Cole is also on there. But you got to have some Kendrick. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a certain type of music that makes you feel like it's spring or that the warm weather is coming? Is there music that you ditch because that's winter?
You know, it's an interesting time because like right now it's almost like, I almost think like peaceful. Whereas like when I get into summer, we're going to start... We're playing bangers. We're like going, but right now it's a little bit more like I'm trying to think of albums I've been listening to. I mean, an album that I always go back to because it's when I can listen straight through and I can just feel is Golden Hour by Casey Musgraves. That one just feels very spring. It's sort of just like it's like one I've like laid in like Delaware Park and just like it's like played on my phone next to me. So like something like that right now is I feel like the vibe. But then I'm very excited as we turn into the summer to start. Like I'm already playing. I mean, right now I'm just playing Mayhem by Lady Gaga. I can't pretend to be. I can't pretend to be anything other than what I am. Yeah. So that's actually the answer. But I was trying to give you a more like peaceful spring answer because Mayhem is very like. We're like going, which is not exactly March, but we're prepping for the summer.
Yeah,
but you definitely, when that whatever 60-degree day or whatever we just had that felt like 80.
Blaring.
Yeah, you're blasting that because that feels like summer.
I was playing it at the gym. I got in my car and was like, "You are all here." we were all celebrating.
We're in it together.
Correct.
Because Gaga is my summer playlist first warm weather artist anyway, and then she has a new album out, which I'm thinking is probably planned. Now that I'm thinking about
certainly,
it. Okay.
certainly. It's also like I'm sure there will be a tour that will be.
Yeah.
It's all very planned.
Yeah. What about you, Katie?
I think with spring, I mean, I listen to everything, but I feel like spring feels very indie music to me. So I've been like listening to a lot of Karuk lately. Actually, they came a few weeks ago to Buffalo and fantastic. Just wanted to say, highly recommend. But also, I like to listen to Punk Goes Pop covers and stuff like that. Like one of my favorite covers, and I feel like it does feel so spring to me, is there is a cover of When We Were Young that Andy Black and Juliet Sims do, and it is like, I love the original by Adele, but that one, I don't know, it just makes me feel something, and it feels like nostalgic and happy, and I'm like, the sunshine's here, I feel alive.
Well, it's funny you say that because I think the pop versions work for spring, but I think that the actual versions, you're like, okay, I'm going to put that sad stuff behind me in the winter for a little bit.
Yeah.
When we were talking about spring cleaning, one thing I thought of, and now we're talking about music and trends, is digital spring cleaning. Do you wish you had a day to just clean out? Are you I'm a digital hoarder. I'm going to be transparent right now. Not going to tell you. Well, actually, since you all have your phones out, let's start this group chat the right way. How many? Okay. Well, first of all, I'm not going to tell you now that I see this. How many unread emails do you have?
Oh no! Oh no!
Well, okay. I think this is a little.
Feeling good company.
I think this is a little unfair because most of these are spam. Because you know how like Gmail will like filter it for you.
Oh, okay.
So it says I have 26,000, but that can't be true.
26,000?
That's what the Gmail app says, but I don't think that's true.
Oh my gosh!
Wait, now I'm wondering, do you have me beat? Because I thought nobody had me beat.
I'm just reading what that thing says.
Oh my god.
I feel it in such good company. I thought you were all going to judge me.
That's you can add to it with koyakmichael@gmail.com.
Oh my.
Wait, trying to get to 30,000 people. Trying to get to 30,000.
Guys, this isn't right. I'm not even telling you in my Gmail.
Is it
on
worse?
the Gmail app.
I thought you were going to ask us how many photos we have, because that is also.
Oh no, that's coming. That's coming. No, I'm not even telling you.
Yeah, it's.
Is it worse than mine?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, what is yours?
It says 90,000.
Oh wow.
It's not.
Oh my.
Have you ever opened your email?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I use my Gmail for personal stuff, but I also get a ton of. I don't know.
Again, well, it's like because
I like
so much spam.
Survival scan.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, what do I need?
Right.
But then my Apple email says 94, and that can't be right.
And that's what mine says. Mine says 400 on that one, and then the other one says so.
I feel like I get spammed way more on my
Correct.
Apple email because of purchases and whatnot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow. That's really bad. At first, I felt
100,000.
good.
At first you're like, he's got me, but
I
no.
don't. That's not right. I am an adult. I promise.
It's okay. I feel you.
So, do you want to be able to just clean that? Wait, Corey, we didn't get to you. You don't have to share.
No, but I have an Android, so mine doesn't tell me like your guys told you. You know what I mean? Like I go to it just says 99 plus.
Well, that's what mine said.
It just like eventually like.
I thought that was 99,000. Okay, I don't feel so bad.
Oh,
now.
the plus.
Oh well. Okay, well. Great.
So you are still the worst.
I'm still the worst.
So mine won't tell me either.
It could be 99,000, but after the 99, it's like in some. It doesn't say after that for me.
Okay. I didn't click all the way through. I
I
saw
have
the things.
26,848. We're gonna
Yeah,
say
his
that
gets down.
we're gonna say the year 99 plus is 26,849.
I probably
I'm gonna send you an email.
Katie, are you gonna tell us your number?
So I'd have to dig a little bit more, but I know it's very close to like probably like the 20,000.
Oh my goodness.
I've had this email for years
Correct,
though,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's
me
like where
too.
all my spam and stuff goes
Right,
to.
Yeah.
right.
And I don't usually open that. I only open the important things. The problem is I need to delete all of the.
That's
we
the thing,
all
yeah.
need digital spring cleaning. Okay, now
I
I'm
agree.
wondering about photos. How do you see?
So if you
that?
just go, well, Apple made the photo app unusable, but if you just go
yeah.
to
Oh, there it is. Okay. Ooh.
Do you want me to go first again?
Yes.
Okay. And this is why I bought the 280 something gigabyte phone because
Yeah.
I have 68,338 images or videos on my phone.
I mean,
Oh
how many of
my
those are
gosh.
how many of those are like the fast press?
Oh,
like
correct.
That's
I'm
like
also
half of
insane.
my-
I don't delete text messages. I need to know everything.
same.
I need to know. I need to
Me
be able
too,
to.
I don't
I need
delete
to be able to pull it up on
Yeah,
here.
Yes.
So yeah.
I'm at 40,486 photos.
Photos?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I'm anywhere close to that.
Okay, something's wrong with the digital content person here. It has less photos than we have.
Well, here's the thing though. So I break mine into folders and stuff like that, but when it's done and out, it's done. So like
Yeah.
things that are posted are posted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So I
gotcha.
don't have to save the raw files of it because like those things take up a lot of space. So when I've edited the video, I don't need the 50-minute version because I cut it down to the 5-minute version and that's all I want. So I'm always like deleting stuff. You know what I mean?
So you're trying to be nice to us right now, and you're actually the most organized digital person probably in the
Yeah,
room.
I mean, I wouldn't think it, but Mike has.
I knew I was
guys, he
I
putting
knew it was
up
going to be bad. I
numbers.
didn't realize it was going to be that bad.
All right, real quick before we move on to your weekend plans, how many unread texts?
Oh, that I'll be better at.
I don't have any unread.
Yeah, I don't.
They're not all responded to, but they're all read.
It might be group chats.
I would like to add that this has gone up since we've been recording. It is at 88.
Wait,
88.
88?
But I am in multiple. So I also there's like in multiple group chats are just like
Yeah.
going off. So again, like if
Got
I
you.
open one chat, like watch, I'm gonna open one chat. I bet you it
Oh,
drops.
yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. We're gonna go to
Okay.
this. It has gone to 61.
Okay. So
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Because now if someone like ha-has or hearts,
Right.
those get counted as
I
messages.
know. Mine were that high too. They're at 26 now, but
Just stop.
Okay.
Stop the
see,
count.
I
there.
had to contribute.
If I open other apps, then there will definitely be unread messages, like
Yeah.
like Messenger
Oh, gosh, we
and
can't
stuff
Right,
like
go,
that.
right.
don't even
Then
go there.
that'll be a
Or
lot
like
higher.
some of these are from
Texts,
Sunday
good.
when like I was not in a state to like look at my phone.
I mean, yeah. Or you were unplugging. That's what
Correct.
you were
I mean,
doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
right.
there we go.
That was
Be a little
intentional,
kinder
and it
to
was-
yourself. So what are the plans for this weekend, the first weekend of spring? I don't know that the weather's going to reflect that, and we don't ever really know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael, how about you?
You
I'm
know,
gonna start with you.
This the last weekend was a lot, and so this weekend I'm thinking about it. There's like I'm gonna see some friends, but nothing serious. It'll actually be a nice sort of like low key weekend. I think.
Yeah.
I say that now, and it certainly won't be the case. But I always like to say I think it's going to be. My trainer, who's a friend of mine, on Fridays always asks me like, "What are you doing this weekend?" And I'm always like, "Not much." And then I see him on Monday, and he's like, "What did you do?" And I'm like, "Well, this, and this." So no hard plans, but something
Yeah.
will pop up.
How about you, Katie?
So also I had a fun, crazy weekend this past weekend. So I have finally had it after weeks of being busy on the weekends. There's nothing planned, and I am very excited about that. Depending on what the weather's going to look like, maybe enjoy some sunshine. I haven't looked at it, so who knows? I'm hoping for sunshine and blue
Yeah.
skies, but we'll see. But yeah, going to just try and relax, chill with my dog, maybe take her on, if it's nice enough, like to go through an actual like walk to the park and
Yeah.
everything like that. Just to have some time to relax and chill,
What park do you go to?
So there, oh my God, why can't I think of the name right now?
It's okay.
I'm sorry. It's
Go.
I can't. it's like one of those things where you can know how to drive to
Yep.
it, and
You
you
can
can't
get there, yeah.
Yeah, but you
I
can't
hear you. I've
remember
got
the
some of
name.
those too. I put you on the spot, and I don't know if I would have been able to answer that. Corey, how about you? What are your plans for the weekend?
This weekend is another Saturday Academy event, so I've talked about them before.
Yes.
But if you're free and you got kids, or even if you don't got kids, you can come to Harvey Austin Elementary, where we will be giving a bunch of free food. We're having March Madness, a basketball tournament. It's a pickup though, so like you can show up and build your team there. All the kids that come and participate are going to get a free T-shirt. The winners get a medal, and they get a poster made of their team for winning. We also have this amazing author, Darian Simone Harvin, coming. She wrote this book called Black Icons of Her Story, and she'll be there doing a talk, giving away some books and signing them. So if you have time, 1405 Sycamore Street, 14211. Come down, see us tomorrow, and we will have a great time.
What time does that start?
Starts at 9 a.m. That's when breakfast is. Activities start at 9:30, and then we end at 12 p.m. So
Perfect.
a couple hours on a Saturday morning. Come see us.
I love it. So I don't always share, but today's my birthday.
Oh,
March 21st. So I am making my friends watch basketball with me all day tomorrow. And then Sunday, there is an event that has always interested me, and I always see after the fact. At the Irish Center, there is a St. Patrick's Day, Dingus Day, and St. Joseph's Day combined celebration.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I'm a big holiday person. So I'm like, look, that covers all my bases right now.
There you go.
Depending on how Saturday goes, will determine my Sunday. But thank you. This was a great episode. Thank you for joining us. And that wraps up today's episode of Group Chat for now. If you want to continue the conversation, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter at BTPM-NPR. So that's Buffalo Toronto Public Media. That's what those letters stand for. NPR. And if you enjoy this content, make sure that you sign up for information at protectmypublicmedia.org to keep up to date on changes and ways that you can get involved. I'd like to thank my guests, Cory McCants, Michael Gilbert-Wachowiak, and Katie Colby. I'm your host, Bentley. Have a great weekend, and thanks for listening.